In this video, we'll look at ways to return multiple items from a single lookup function using the new XLOOKUP function, but also using the old school VLOOKUP function. You may be surprised to see that the older VLOOKUP method may actually be easier to write and understand than its newer XLOOKUP replacement. Plus, we'll see how to return entire records as well as selected elements of a record. We'll also see how to arrange return data either horizontally or vertically. Let's start by looking at a more traditional way of performing a lookup that most people are familiar with, and that's using the VLOOKUP function. What I'd like to be able to do is select an employee number from this dropdown, and then have that employee's information populate across that row. In cell B5, we'll begin by writing a VLOOKUP function that takes the selection from cell A5, looks that number up in our table called data1, and then returns the value from the second column. We want an exact match, so we'll choose false. If I were to type in 5085, we can see Sharon Vaughn's been returned. Now I would like the entire record to be returned, but unfortunately, VLOOKUP's original design will only allow you to bring back a single piece of information. So in the old days, what we'd do, we'd have to modify the formula to fix the cell address that we're looking up, cell A5. This way, when we repeat the formula with a fill series, and I'm going to remove the formatting, the employee number reference wouldn't change. However, we still keep getting back the same returned value of number 2. So what most people would do is they would go to the next instance of the VLOOKUP and change this 2 to a 3. And then go to the next instance and change it to a 4. And then go to the next instance and change that to a 5, so on and so forth. Now if you only have 2 or 3 of these to do, that's not a big issue. But if you have dozens or hundreds, this isn't going to be practical. To make this more dynamic, what we could do is we could replace the column index number, or the column that we're returning information from, with a column function. Now what the column function does is it returns the column number from a cell you specify. Well, if I specify column B, this will actually return the second column. Now because that reference to B is relative, when I repeat it across columns, the B will change to C, then to D, then to E, which will cause the return number to change from 2 to 3 to 4. So let's take this updated VLOOKUP, repeat it across, we'll remove the formatting, and we can see now we have the entire record. Now yes, we did return the entire record, but it technically took 8 separate VLOOKUP functions to do this because each VLOOKUP is returning a separate piece of information. So we really haven't achieved our goal of returning an entire record with a single function. Let's do this with the new XLOOKUP function. So with XLOOKUP, we're going to take the value that has been selected in cell A5. We're going to look that number up in the employee column of the table, which I've named data2, and we're going to return the value from the sales rep column. Now that returned only one value, but XLOOKUP has the ability to return multiple values. So if we go back into the formula, for the return array, instead of just selecting the sales rep column, I'm going to select all of the columns from sales rep through sales. Now we've returned the entire record. So this one XLOOKUP function was able to return the entire record of information. But what if you don't want to return the entire record? What if you only want to return selected columns from the record? So we'll start off with the XLOOKUP function again, looking up the same employee number located in cell A5. We'll locate that employee number in the employee number column of the table, which I've called data3. But now instead of returning all information from sales representative to sales, we're going to run this table through a filter so we can only bring back certain columns. So we'll begin with a filter function, and the filter function will provide all of the columns that we want returned. But since we don't want every single column returned, we only want selected columns, we're going to flag the columns we want returned data differently from the columns we don't. So to do this, we're going to use a 1 to say yes, we want that column, and a 0 to say no, we don't want that column. This is going to be provided in the form of a list. Lists are always provided in forms of curly braces. So for our list, we're going to tell it that we want to return the sales rep column, which is the first column, and we'll flag that with a 1. The date column we don't want, so we'll flag that with a 0. Product we want, so that's a 1. State is a 1. Region is a 1. Supplier is a 1. Cost and sales we don't want, so we'll flag those with 0s. Now we can close off the filter function, close off the XLOOKUP function, and now we've returned the selected columns of data. So the filter function was used to essentially reduce the table down to only specific columns at which the XLOOKUP function would do the search. Notice that these columns are in the same order of the original table. Later we'll see how to return those columns in any order we wish. Now, believe it or not, we can actually perform that same action much more simply using the old school VLOOKUP. Now, if you're thinking, well, we can't do that because a VLOOKUP can only return one piece of information. If you're running Microsoft 365, VLOOKUP can take advantage of the dynamic array engine that XLOOKUP is using. The way we do this is we'll start with a VLOOKUP. We're going to look up what's in cell A5. We're going to look it up into our table, which I've called data 4. But now instead of telling it one column to return information from, I'm going to give it a list of columns to return information from. Remember, lists are always supplied in the forms of curly braces. Instead of flagging columns with ones and zeros to indicate interested columns or uninterested columns, we just give it the column positions like we normally would within a VLOOKUP. So in this case, I would want to return the sales reps, which is in the second column, then comma, and then I want the product, which is in the fourth column, the state, which is in the fifth column, the region, which is in the sixth column, and the supplier, which is in the seventh column. Now we can indicate that we want to do an exact match, so I'll use false, close parentheses, and we've returned the entire formula. And notice that this formula is much shorter, and if you're familiar with VLOOKUP and comfortable with that, the list makes more sense because you're telling it the exact column positions that you want, not using 1-0 flags. What I really like about this technique is that the list of columns that you want returned don't have to be in consecutive order or sequential order. So we can go ahead and perform this VLOOKUP again, taking the employee number, locating it in my table, which is called data 5 this time. But now the list, this time I want the returned columns to be in a different order. I want them to be in supplier, state, sales rep, region, product, which is not the same order as they are in the original table. So in this case, I want the 7th column, the 5th column, the 2nd column, the 6th column, and the 4th column. I want an exact match. We'll close parentheses. And now I've got the returned selected columns in the order that I need. Now here's an interesting little trick. In the VLOOKUP that we just performed, the returned information was spread across the row. So if I do that VLOOKUP again, and I'll take the employee number here in cell B4, this time we're running it through a table called data 6, and then I'll provide a list that says I want columns 7, 5, 2, 6, and 4. We want an exact match, close off the VLOOKUP, and there's our information, just like we had it before. But the trick is, I want this information displayed vertically, not horizontally. We could place this VLOOKUP within a transpose function and get the effect that we're going for. But that does make for a longer formula, and this could start to get confusing. So the trick, I'm going to hit undo, is to replace the commas with semicolons. Because comma means go to the next column, whereas semicolon means go to the next row. So just by replacing commas with semicolons, we get the transposition effect without actually using the transpose function. Now for a bonus, let's see how we could use the XLOOKUP function to pull only selected columns from the table and rearrange them in the order that we need. So we'll start with an XLOOKUP function, and we'll take the employee number selected in cell A5. We're going to look that up in the employee number column of the table, which in this case the table is named data 7. We'll use the same filter function to take the entire data 7 table and then create a list that has those 0, 1 flags so we can pick only the columns that we want. So I don't want the employee number column. I do want sales rep. I don't want date. I do want product, state, region, supplier, but I don't want cost and I don't want sales. Now this is going to return the vertically filtered table. In other words, only the columns that I want from that data 7 table, but they're still in the same order that the table is presenting. So we'll close off the filter function, but let's go back in front of the filter function and let's put the filter function inside of a choose columns function. What choose columns will allow us to do is pick only the columns we want. Now I want all the columns, I just want them in a different order. So choose columns would be similar to the way we just did the VLOOKUP where we say I want columns 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to create a list, but in this case the list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be rearranged. So I want the columns to be selected in the order of columns 5, 3, 1, 4, and 2. We'll close off the choose columns, close off the XLOOKUP, and now we have an XLOOKUP returning multiple values from only the columns we need in the order that we need them. As much as I love the XLOOKUP function, I think it's a fantastic function. Having to go through all of this bureaucracy to filter the columns and rearrange them seems like a lot of extra work compared to the way a VLOOKUP would do it. If you're not using any of the extra features that XLOOKUP brings to the table, I think I would have to go with the VLOOKUP in this case. I hope you've enjoyed seeing these less than traditional uses for common lookup functions. Let us know what you think in the comments and share with us any other interesting uses for lookups that you may know. Thanks for watching, and remember, at BCTI, the learning never stops.